last name is Drossell, okay?
Right. And speaking of, actually, we are live now. Let me just...
Okay.
Alright, hang on, guys. Hold on. Gotta get the camera into position here. I thought it would give me a bit more time and control over it. I guess not. Alright, that should be good. Let me turn off the light. Perfect. So, yeah. I have Jayden Drossell back on the line again to go back to Crash Bandicoot Warped. Oh, this one. Just gonna turn that down a bit so we can both be heard. I've actually made a lot more progress since I last did a live stream. I've actually made it to the 5th and final warp room area. As well, I say 5th and final in the main story, because there's another one with another 3 original levels and 2 that you go back in, right? Like there's another.
Yeah.
But that's not. But that's not where we're playing right now. I gotta go load up the other file. If I recall correctly, I beat Tiny Tiger.
Oh, I don't think you did your intro.
Oh. Yeah, it's me, Rogue Maverick. Blah 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 blah. So yeah, since we beat Tiny Tiger. Oh. Sorry.
Why must you continue to be a thorn in our side? Who? What? When was I? Oh, Tiny was a good fellow. He hated everyone and everything, but a good heart nonetheless. Please be more reasonable with my minions next time.
I gotta say, I love the voice acting. It doesn't sound so stiff and forced. Not that it sounded that way in the original, but it sounds more natural now for the dialogue.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, the originals were still. It's still the same script, word for word, but the delivery just feels stronger. Anyways, the power up we got last time basically may not be noticeable at first glance, but it actually does improve the radius of your belly flop. Personally, I find it's a pretty useless power. Not really that helpful to me, anyway. And I just got turned into a toad. You know what? Actually, I have an idea. Hopefully this doesn't block the view of the camera. It shouldn't. Whoa, 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 whoa. Almost dropped the camera. There, now you can kind of see what's going on, right there?
Yeah.
Now you'll be able to comment with me.
I always like how the medieval.
What? You're kind of freezing up there, dude.
Oh, hold on a second. I said, I love how the medieval stages look in this game.
I know, it's like the difference between.
It's done so well.
Yeah, and I mean the difference between current gen systems and PlayStation 1 is just astonishing. As one of the reviewers mentioned, it's like we're looking at a 3D Disney cartoon basically, with some of the quality of the animations and all.
Yeah.
Like I could, like it just. Honestly, believe it or not, the biggest sticking point for me to actually, aside from the first hit game, that one had some game design issues. But aside from that, the biggest sticking point for me to hop into the games was really the visuals. That and the only real way I had to play it for a long time was on my PSP, which for some reason PS1 games on that don't support analog control, even if the game itself is capable of it. Which always is, It would,
Oh, really, eh?
yeah, it's always been really annoying. I mean, you can also remap the buttons, so it's. But then again, uh, the PSP may not have had enough buttons to go around, but I would have liked to have the option regardless. Crash Bandicoot is not a game where all the buttons will be constantly used, so it'd be fine for like the Fruit Bazooka to be on the D-pad if and then control with the analog stick.
Yeah.
But and oddly enough, you can use if say I use the remote play feature to play. I think I can do this with PlayStation 1 games, but I can play it on my PS3, fire up remote play on my PSP, and play it that way, and I actually get analog support. So it's not like it's impossible. I don't just maybe just Sony never thought it would be a good idea to add that. Maybe it's not that big. It's not that big of a deal in the long run, since pretty much all PlayStation games would. I think there may have been like a very few handful of games, like well under a dozen, that needed the DualShock for the analog sticks, but most games were designed to be playable with just the D-pad, since that's what the system launched with.
Yeah.
Because really, it's a glorified Super NES controller just with 2 shoulder buttons, which is kind of funny considering the history of the system. I really love the music upgrade that they did for Warped as well. Well, not just for Warped, for the entire trilogy. Like some of the tracks in Crash 1, I loved. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes they just didn't sound right. They just didn't. They kind of had the wild nature, of course. But I like how Insane Trilogy basically basically turns them into proper songs. Some people have criticized like the Lost Temple or the Ruins theme sounds less like foreboding and more.
Less. So less threatening, you mean?
Yeah, but it sounds more jazzy. But it has some more. To me, it's more memorable. I don't mind ambient tracks from time to time, but it feels like you're going on an adventure. It should have a little more of a memorable feel. I don't know. That's just me, though. I might have been singing a different tune if I had grown up with these games, but I didn't. So, and I've always been big on like rock music. So kind of. Oh, I love the bonus theme for Crash 1. It just sounds so much like a rock song. And that's not a bad thing in my books. How about you?
Well, to me, none of the songs really jump out at me, except for the Hog Wild theme.
Oh yeah, I love how weird it is and quirky that they made the song. In the original, it was good. It was so good in the original, but now it's just incredible in the remaster. I don't have the Death Tornado spin yet. Oh, even when I first played the PS1 games, that's always been weird. How those frogs kiss Crash and turn back into a prince, and yeah.
Well, I think it's based on the fairy tale. Remember where the princess kissed the frog and he turned into a prince?
Yeah, no, I've picked up on that reference, but it doesn't make it any less weird.
I think it has something to do with
it's a male frog doing it to a male anthropomorphic bandicoot. That's what makes it weird.
Oh yeah.
On top of the absurdity of the story as well. Ew! Did you see where Crash pulled it out of? I'm still going. Yes. Just wanted to make sure that the live stream was still going. Crash pulled the crystal out of his the hang 'em high. Isn't it? I know there's a yellow. You can get the yellow gem, but okay, it says discover and finish the secret. Isn't that
to get the gem for hanging? To get the gem for Hang 'em High, you have to have at least 10 relics.
Which, didn't you recommend going to... I just love how Crash just kind of short walks if his shorts get torn off, cut off by those. Anyways, didn't you recommend basically going for those?
Oh, hold on, the phone's ringing. Okay, I'm back.
Okay,
Phone's ringing.
that's no worries. Didn't you recommend to basically go for it once I unlock the Crash Dash by beating the game? Before going for the time relics, I mean?
Yeah.
Though I
Because
actually...
it makes it a lot easier.
You know, some people have said that the gold relics look better to me, to them, but for me, I think the sapphire looks really nice. But I'm a little biased against that. That is the color of my birthstone, so...
What, blue?
Well, the sapphire. Sapphire is
sapphire.
Sapphire blue. The sapphire is my gemstone for it's because it's a stone for September, and I love it. In fact, I've actually grown to really love sapphire blue once I remembered about that. It'd be interesting if you could actually visit some of these levels with some of these power-ups. I wonder what some of these levels would be like.
Gotta love the bottomless pits and Crash games.
Yeah, you could say they're a total party crasher. Oh,
Yeah.
Shouldn't there have been a level? I wonder if there's a level in the series called Party Crasher.
I don't think there is.
Oh, that would. I mean, you know, if you, it could be. Considering how weird and random Crash can get, why not have a time, basically, a level based on a party area, and a level. One of the levels could be called Party Crasher. It could work.
Yeah.
It's almost more strange than Warped, really. Warped can get pretty weird and surreal with its settings, which only has gotten which is only even better in the Insane trilogy. Oh, I've never have had a problem with those scorpions until I started playing on here. I suppose that's what I've heard. Sometimes people call it a Let's Play curse, where you can be very skilled at a game, but when you go and sit down to play and live, you start making all sorts of mistakes. Maybe it's because you're talking and playing at the same time.
Probably.
But there's definitely some truth to it.
Yeah.
Oy. So you guys are going to be getting a special of 2 videos today, back to back. Once this is this will be uploaded, and then my Odyssey Part 4 will be uploaded. I'm really sorry about disappearing. Life happened. If you know life, it loves to interrupt your time for stuff for fun, basically. Am I right there, dude?
Yeah.
Whoa. Oh, crap. I waited too long before breaking that box. I killed myself to get out of that intentionally. Because, you know, you have to complete that for 100% in the level, right?
Yeah.
It's funny because some boxes don't do that. At least I found in the remaster. I don't know what it is. I think I mentioned this in the previous live stream, but I really miss the proper rumble controls that the original had on PlayStation. Oh, some of the vibrations that you could get, like in Deep Trouble. Oh man, that just rumbled your hands, didn't it?
Yeah.
It doesn't do that in others. It just only does it when you fire, which is I don't know if it does that on PlayStation 4 too, though. Two bumper food away from a life up, and now I got life up. Good. Oh, you stinking chimp! He had the gall. Oh, that's not even as bad as what happened when I was playing Native Fortress. In Crash, or I died to one of those little monkeys that roll around. You remember what I'm talking about, right, dude?
Yeah.
At one point I died, he was laughing and making fun of me. I was like, you stupid little chimp. Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah.
You can't spin into them when they're facing you.
Yeah, I remember that. Oop, there we go. Ah, I tried to jump over that. I also don't even have the double jump. I guess I really got used to all those power-ups, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you get for trying to get a look at at a Bandicoot's reproductive organs. And there's another extra life. I find this game really rewards you with them. And I got the box gem. Which means I'll have to... But we'll still have to come back to this level eventually. Once we get 10 relics. Which will probably happen mostly after the final boss. Why does Crash have to think that's the best spot to hide him, up his rear end?
I have no idea.
I'm not sure which is Bill's pulling it out of his butt or barfing it up. Ah, Hog Ride. This level I've always found never challenged me that much. I found Orange Asphalt in the final warp room easier than the second motorcycle ride. And Orange Asphalt only took me 4 tries to beat. Remember that, dude?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it took you a pretty good while to beat Road Crash.
Yeah. There was times I felt like throwing my controller and crashing it. But I didn't want to do that, of course. I mean, the cost of new Joy-Cons is about the cost for a new game, $80. Well, I say for the most part, games will cost like $80 to get. There are some exceptions, like Mega Man 11 being $40, with Mega Man Legacy Collection being like $50 for both games, and whatnot, and Minecraft for $30. I didn't get it. Truth be told, I've actually gotten good at. I've gotten the little boost start more effectively, especially once I started playing Super Circuit really well, because the way I do it in Super Circuit, you have to press the gas for half a second for each light until it turns green, and then you'll get the rocket start. And I found that seems to work as well, pretty well for this level. Even if it just can only press green, the gas on green, I still do it and it works. So I actually owned Super Circuit for a good number of months, and actually, believe it or not, it's actually a really worthwhile time. This is
well, when you let me play it on, I thought the controls were really slippery.
They are, but especially when
It kind of ruined the experience for me. Imagine playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and the controls are like slippery.
true. For me, the main source of the slipperiness was with the drift. You can't even do it like you could in Mario Kart 64, which came out before, where it used this basically similar drifting system in DS and Double Dash. Which, by the way, I actually really like the drifting controls in DS just about as much as Mario Kart Wii and onwards. Oh, if there's how funny is it that both of our childhood games are racing games? Of course, Mario Kart Wii was actually not the first game I ever played, but it was the first one that got me pretty much into the game I am today. So, in a way, it is the first real game I played. Jayden's first game was Crash Team Racing.
But wasn't your first system the I think it was the original DS or the DS Lite, I think it was.
It was the DS Lite, and I actually did not actually have amount. All I had was like a sports game, a bowling game, basically, and a couple of movie games that some of like Wally or Where the Wild Things Are. I also had a Spider-Man Shadow Dimensions game that I still have, and so oh my goodness, that's another one of my games from my childhood. I sunk so much time into that game. If I ever get my hands on a capture card, I am so doing a playthrough of that game.
So, what was the first Mario game you ever played or owned?
Yeah.
During the Ice Ages. So give me the goods and shove off, or I'll roast you.
I think Dingle Dial's most awesome. I think my first real exposure to Mario was, I think New Super Mario Bros. On DS. I don't remember how I experienced that. Though, thinking about it, there was a game that looked like it. I think it might. I don't remember if it was even a racing game or a platformer, but I do think it was GameCube. So it was probably a Mario game, and you were going through this castle. Almost, I don't know if it was Spyro or Mario, but basically, you went through this castle that actually kind of resembles a courtyard, like the in part of the racetrack from Mario Kart Wii's N64 Bowser's Castle, which came. Oh my goodness! I keep spinning into that. How long have we been going? 23 minutes. Huh, not bad. But really, from the first Mario game I really owned and really sat down and played was actually Mario Kart Wii, and I actually went back to that a few days ago. Goodness, I forgot how crazy and chaotic the game was. In some ways, Mario Kart has lost a little bit of its fun because it was just so crazy and chaotic that it was fun. It wasn't hard to master. It was just some of the items made it a bit of a chaotic. It was just kind of chaotic, but it was fun.
Yeah.
Definitely though, Mario Kart 8 actually it's still really good. But going from Mario Kart Wii to Mario Kart 7, it was definitely there was definitely something lost I found. Like the game just felt a little too calm, really. Maybe that was it even. You know how 150cc is supposed to be the hardest, right? Aside from Mirror Mode, of course. Mirror Mode's hard for its own reasons. I was able to place first pretty consistently in Mario Kart 7. I can't easily do that in Mario Kart Wii or Mario Kart 8. or other Mario Kart games, really. Because 150cc is just so, it feels like it's, heck, even DS had a bit more of a struggle on 150cc. For some reason, 150cc in Mario Kart 7 sort of feels like a mix between hundreds, mostly 100 with a little bit of 150 from other games. It's just so. The other issue I had with the game was lack of single player content. There was no single player versus mode, which I like doing a lot. Playing, selecting my favorite course. You know.
Yeah. It's one thing that I like about Mario Kart Wii. Not Mario Kart Wii. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is the battle mode.
Oh yes. Oh, that has got to be the best battle mode, really ever. I mean, some people say Mario Kart 64 was the best, and perhaps it is. I've never actually really played it, but Mario Kart 8 is, for me, pretty much the most. I usually don't play much battle mode, but I've sunk quite a bit of time already into Mario Kart 8's battle mode. Because there's 5 modes. That's the most that's ever been a thing, hasn't it?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, but if it's one thing, my favorite type of battle is the balloon one.
Yeah, followed for me by Bomb Blast. Oh, goodness, that one's fun. Especially when you pick the right one. Oh, wow, it's so much fun. You know, it's a shame that the Mario Kart Wii's online feature does not work anymore. Because I tried playing online a couple of times back in the day, and of course I sucked because I was not nearly as good at video games as I am now. But now that I'm really good at Mario Kart these days, I would have loved to play Mario Kart Wii online. I mean, I know I can do that with 8, but you know, I remember there was some really, really good racers online. But then again, there was also some pretty much god level drivers. There was some when I played online with voice chat recently. I kid you not, there was like a race that had like 70,000 points for online. You normally start at 1,000. Okay, yeah. I remember this level was a bit of a pain to get the box gem just because you had to go back against the camera. But I managed to do it on my own run. Oh, excuse me. Oof. Come on. Oh, whoa! I really hope it would be really cool to see Crash as a DLC character for Smash, for Smash Ultimate. I mean, he's on Nintendo Switch. He's back, and he's no stranger to Nintendo consoles. Pretty much ever since he left PlayStation, he has had games on Nintendo systems. Yes, some of them were multi-platform games, but there were some original games developed for Nintendo systems, like Crash Bandicoot: The Huge Adventure and Crash Bandicoot 2 Entranced. And Crash Bandicoot the Rampage, which was also another part of 2 games featuring both Crash and Spyro. Oh my god. Yeah, there we go. I've always found these boxes really hard to break. You alright?
Yeah, sorry. I just had to go to the bathroom.
Okay. I was wondering why you were unusually quiet. Whoa! Ah! You know, I suppose there's no point in getting the box gem anyway in this level yet. So why am I even really trying to go for it, right?
Yeah. But, it only begs the question, will Crash be a DLC in Smash Ultimate?
Well, honestly, we'll be finding out. Because I saw news that Sakurai had said that the characters for DLC have been locked down. So, like, basically they have already decided on DLC fighters now.
You mean like who they're gonna be?
Yeah. So there's no more requests they won't accept any more requests. But I think this is how they also did it with Smash 4 as well. Once they had enough requests, they just stopped with accepting requests. Wait, was that level 9 that we did? Yes. Okay. Midnight Run. And I love how Crash basically flops onto his stomach, basically. Yep, we're still going.
And a lot of people are upset that Saga introduced a freaking Piranha Plant as a fighter in Smash Ultimate.
Yeah, what's next? A Koopa Troopa? Oh, maybe a Moblin from the Zelda series.
I wonder who the DLC fighters are gonna be though. What's your theory?
I'm not really sure. Honestly, I still think Crash is a very viable option. He could use some of his basic moves would be like his aim button moves would be from Crash of the Titans and Mind of a Mutant. Since those were beat 'em up platformers, it would translate really well. Then as standard B and side B could both be a spin attack, you know, spin in place or spin while moving. Up could be the Death Tornado spin move, double jump Death Tornado spin. You keep holding up and mashing the jump button, or the B button, and you'll do the Death Tornado spin. I think that would be a good one. And then down would be the slide maneuver.
Yeah.
So right there, that. But what would his final smash be? What do you think his final smash would be?
Maybe it's kind of basic, but he gets 3 Aku Aku masks and becomes invincible for a brief time. Kind of like Supersonic in a way.
Yeah. Another option I was thinking is he could summon Embryo to use a gem laser on the opponents. Or maybe he summons Aku Aku and Uka Uka comes down to fight. And you remember the final part of the final boss for Warped? How they Aku Aku and Uka Uka are battling it out. Well, they could try and battle. Oh no, maybe that could be a assist trophy. They would battle, and you'd have to try and fight around that.
Yeah.
Oh, crud. Game over.
But in all honesty, I'm pretty still pissed about Smash Ultimate.
Yeah, he really wants to see Shadow, and honestly, I'm surprised they haven't. If they didn't bring any Sonic characters to Smash 4. You know, you got all these other series that got more representations.
And Echo and more Echo Fighters.
Yep, and now Echo Fighters and even again more representations from other series, but still nothing more than Sonic. I mean, in Brawl it was understandable. You know, it was only one character, right? And they wanted to see how it would, how people would like his play style, basically. Smash 4,
Yeah, but
the Smash 4 was weird, but there better be a Sonic DLC, at least a Sonic DLC for Ultimate. It's about time for the Sonic series to get another. Although with the Spirit fight, with those Spirit fighters, I guess it could be, and those since those change attributes of characters. You know, that could work. I mean, a series that would never have even had really much of a chance, or it wouldn't have much of an opportunity to get a good, didn't have enough games or skills to make a full character out of it, allows them to put them in the game as a way to influence other fighters, which I think is a good compromise.
But what I don't understand is why they chose a piranha plant over Shadow.
Or any other character, really. Because, I mean, there are still some other characters that people would probably be clamoring for. Who in their right mind would have asked for a piranha plant? Am I right?
Yeah. But that's like, you know, but...
Whew.
But Sakurai, he's a huge troll anyways.
Yeah, you know...
He likes to reveal stuff at the last second.
Yeah, though sometimes he doesn't, just to keep you on your toes, right? I mean, remember how he revealed Ridley? Oh my...
Yeah.
People have been clamoring for him pretty much since, like, Brawl.
And yet we don't get frickin' Shadow the Hedgehog.
I'm gonna, since we're about to go to the Dingodile fight, save. I'm gonna turn up the volume so the dialogue will play, and we can hear the dialogue.
Okay.
Right. Now you've gone and done it. Them crystals are mine.
I like the line that he says right after getting into the world. Right.
Break out the butter.
Which I think, I love that line, break out the butter, because you're gonna be toast. Now I'm gonna do this fight twice. The first time I'm gonna do it the intended way. Then I'll show you how to beat the boss in like 30 seconds, or less than 30 seconds really. So normally he has to basically break through these crystals so you can gain access to him and safely attack him and get away before the pack there explodes. That's the intended fight. Oh, I just realized, dude, in 2 months, the Bowser's Inside Story remake is gonna launch. You know, I'm probably gonna, that's probably gonna be the last 3DS game I pick up right away, basically. At least for a long while. Because that game, I wanted that game pretty much at the moment it was announced, long before I ever had the Switch. So, of course, I still really want to get that game. Because I'm a big fan of the Mario and Luigi RPG games. Oh, imagine if, as an Echo Fighter, they announce Paper Mario.
I don't think that would work. But that's just me.
I mean, if they can make a freaking piranha plant work, why can't they make a Paper Mario Echo Fighter work, right? I mean, piranha plants don't really. How is he even gonna?
Imagine if they introduced an Echo Fighter for Cloud.
Maybe it'd be Cecile from Final Fantasy IV, since that's also a pretty beloved entry.
And I think Smash needs a couple more Final Fantasy characters.
Yeah, oh, I can tell you, I would love to have Cecile from, again, 4. Well, technically,
what about Lightning?
she could be actually pretty interesting, too. There's only one other character that has electric-type elements to their moveset, and that's Pikachu. At least that's as far as I know. At least based around electricity, I should say, because I mean, I think some of the other fighters are have electric stuff in their move, like Mega Man. He has an electric type move, the Spark Shot. Oh my goodness, I'm having a hard time with Dingo Dork. Huh.
Sorry about that. I had to mute myself for a second.
That's no worries. I'm gonna head back and grind for 2 Aku Aku masks. You know what? Since I'm going to grab for well, actually nah. I'll go for the Time Relic again later.
Grass, cocoa. If you have already
Oh.
the levels crystal, then you will find a floating clock when you enter for the second time. This floating clock activates time trial mode. Grab it, and the clock will start ticking. Race for the end to get the best time, but beware, some elements will change.
Okay. Pretty cool. I like the cutscenes. They're, in a way, simple, but still effective. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Well, since I'm in time trial mode, I might as well go for the time trial relic, right?
Yeah, but weren't you gonna show the folks how to beat Dingo Dial in less than 30 seconds?
Yeah, I just needed to get, this was an accident though. I'm just going for Aku Aku Mouse so I can first survive the normal intended fight. But, since I accidentally touched the clock, I might as well go for the time trial relic, right?
Yeah.
Turn a mistake into something useful. Oh, the slide spin jump exploit is so useful, man. Basically, you go slide, jump, spin in rapid succession. Come on, touch the portal, Crash. Thank you. Wasted like 2 seconds because of that, but I still got the the Sapphire Relic. I like how I don't mind how you can. I think it's cool how you can cancel the crash dance. I mean, if you want to.
But it's kind of funny to see Coco do the crash dance.
Yeah.
Or her own variation of it.
The Coco dance.
Yeah.
What the? Where's my Aku Aku masks? I had those. Are you not allowed to take those into bosses?
I think you're not allowed to do that in Crash 3 or Crash 2.
Oh, that sucks. Looks like I guess I just wasted time then. Damn it. Oh, he's just spamming these fireballs now. So there's the normal way to take him out. You know, just wait for him to break those crystals. But before I sign off... Oh, my battery's getting low. Hopefully that message didn't pause the live stream. Doesn't seem like it did. But I'm gonna plug that in. Now I gotta recenter the camera. Fantastic. No, stop it. Stop it. Okay. Wait, you gonna stay? Let me zoom in a little bit. Not that much. Alright. Okay, so to take out so here's how you can take out Dingo Dial a lot faster.
Haven't we gotten far for a pair of fuzzy marsupials? I am Dr. Nefarious Truby, master of time and the creator of the very time twister machine you see before you. Uka Uka and Dr. Cortex have sent me to end this little charade, so you won't be leaving my area with the crystals. I swear it.
Alright, so as for beating Dingo Dial quick, remember that slide spin jump maneuver I mentioned? You use that, you can get over the crystals, explode, do it again, smack them. Oh, okay, no, not, it's a little risky. But I will show you this.
I wonder how many times you got a game over during this live stream.
Probably like 2 or 3 times.
I think it was a little bit more than that.
So there's a second hit already. Smack him again. Let's get out of there. And seriously, you can seriously end the boss that much faster. Even on my last successful run, it was like 2 or so minutes. That was like 25, 30 seconds, something like that. You could really... Too bad you can't do that with some of the other bosses, eh?
Yeah.
Well, anyways, that's actually going to be it for this live stream. Thank you all for tuning in. Next time, which I don't know when the next time will be, we'll basically take on the 3rd warp room area. First, I'm going to save. Almost saved over my main save file. That would have been terrible. And in the next episode, next live stream, we will take on the 3rd live stream thing. 3rd warp room area. Goodness. I think that's a sign that I need to stop live streaming and recording for the day. Alright, thank you again for joining me, Jayden.
Oh, no problem.
Alright, so we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye. How do I end this? Oh.